Hi, my name's Mary Alice and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thanks so much for being here. I hope you like this content and become a subscriber. Anyhow, I have been an energy healer and I've been helping people align their whole lives on a physical level, an emotional, mental, spiritual, relational, financial, all different areas, creative, for nearly 3 decades. So I have a ton to share with you. And so I hope you like this content. Today's video is about how to recognize if you are the victim of a psychic troll. Now let me explain what a psychic troll is. A psychic is someone who has gifts and abilities and can perceive things that are in a different dimension. So they may be clairvoyant, they may be clairaudient, clairsentient, claircognizant. Anyhow, these are all wonderful gifts to possess and to also develop. Each of us can develop these gifts. Some are easier to develop for particular people. So that's what a psychic is. And a troll is someone who is intentionally disruptive. Someone who is, that gets pleasure out of disrupting or throwing other people off. So I put those two together and call them a psychic troll. So anyhow, the way that you might understand being victimized by a psychic troll is that the phone rings and ring ring and it's a friend and they say, "Hey, I had a dream about you last night, and in this dream you were sick, and they said, oh, it's cancer, and the next thing I know we're at your funeral." And they get off the phone and they leave you with that. So, for one thing, a dream, unless someone is a proven prophetic dreamer, is about the dreamer. It's about the person dreaming the dream. It's their unconscious mind, and it is speaking to them in a language of symbology. And so this person who is phoning you has some kind of thing going on, but they're projecting it onto you. And then they hang up the phone and they say, "Okay, now you deal with it." So I'll get to how to deal with that in a second. Here's another story. So I have a client who is very, very wonderful woman, very sensitive and, a little fragile physically, and was traveling with her husband, and someone on the trip came up to the husband and shared information that said that his wife was very ill, and if the wife did not do what this person was saying to do, that they were going to die in 4 months. Look at that. And left it with the husband. Now, we have the husband being thrown off, and then of course he sharing it with the wife. And now we have to deal with that. Well, that is another example of a psychic troll. So what do you do when you have psychic trolls that are intentionally, and we don't need to look at what their intention is. I mean, there's something going on there, maybe passive aggressive, maybe it's jealousy. We don't have to get into the psychological makeup of them, but what I want to do is help to empower you. Okay, first of all, we have to agree on this principle. The future is probable. Okay, there's many probabilities going on simultaneously, and we're living in a field of quantum physics. Okay, so what that means is as these different thought forms which are particles, thought forms are particles and they're energy, and as they're bumping into each other, they are going to continually shift, the probable future. So the key here is that the strongest thought form wins. Okay, so we have to become resilient to people telling us what our future is. We get to decide what our future is. And, you know, there's this thing that Napoleon Hill talks about, the hypnotic rhythm. Okay, and what I have been gathering, what the hypnotic rhythm that he's talking about is, you know, these unconscious patterns of ours that can get triggered like that. Okay, and others might be reacting to that. They may be coming in, and we, you know, and we may be receptive to having those triggers. And, you know, our brain goes off, you know, the basal ganglia goes in a little crazy, and we will start to buy the, you know, we will buy the prediction. But that's not necessary. What we have to do is we have to anchor a thought in our prefrontal cortex. You have to always know that you are the master of your life. No one gets to tell you. No one controls your mind unless you allow them. So the point is, when these things happen, they're an opportunity for you to really deflect and become more resilient to creating your own reality, and to not take it personal, to understand that this is a projection and there's something else going on, and you have to pass. Now, if these things happen to you often, then you may have some very blurry personal boundaries and you may be too open. So what I would suggest is that you make a statement and you say, I remain psychically closed until I decide to open, or I remain telepathically closed until I decide to open, so that you can consciously open and close those things if there is a reason to open up psychically or telepathically to another person. But the point here is that our mind is the greatest computer in the entire universe. And if your mind is corrupted with a virus, like someone telling you that you know, have cancer or you might die, you know, these things are really powerful. And that will actually alter the DNA, and it will start it coming into fruition. So, you know, deflect, send the energy back to the person in the manner in which it was given to you, and let them have the free will choice of what they want to do with it. It's their responsibility. Our responsibility is to ourselves, and we need to stay in our power and eliminate all that kind of interference. So I hope that this is helpful, and that you can really stand in your power, create some energetic boundaries, really be only open to harmonious frequencies, and realize that when someone, you know, tries to give you predictions, unsolicited advice, uninvited things, you don't need to take it. And that is really a violation of some of the universal laws. So I would love to hear from you. If you have any questions or examples or stories, please post them below. And I am wishing you a peaceful and prosperous day. Thank you so much for watching.